So we talked so far about addition, subtraction, and multiplication, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about division because there's a few things that we do when we have to divide fractions. So let's just pick up two fractions, let's say 2/3, and we want to divide this by 3/4. And another way of writing that division the same way you see there would have been as a double fraction, so 2/3 go at the top and then 3/4 go at the bottom. And what we actually do when we divide fractions, we just do the following. On the left hand side, I'm gonna do what we do when we switch the division to multiplication. So we keep the first fractions the same, then we change the divide into multiply, and then we reverse the second fraction, right? So that's going to become multiplied by 4/3. And then if you recall what we did when we have multiplication, we multiply the top ones together. So 2 times 4 over 3 times 3, that's going to give me 8/9. And that's going to be the final answer that I don't simplify any further. Now, if we do have the calculation in the form that you can see on the right-hand side, then what we do a similar sort of thing. So we write that sort of double fraction as a fraction where the two outside ones, so the two ones that they have, the one at the top and the other one at the very bottom, they multiply together and they go at the top. 2 times 4. So the product of the outside ones divided by the product of the ones that they are closer to the main division line, and I'm talking about that one, and that's going to give you 8/9, and this is how you get the same answer. Now, the issue that I have with both of those ways is like it's kind of difficult conceptually to understand why we do what we do and why the answer is the answer that it is. So I'm going to try to give you a little bit of an explanation. Or perhaps show you another way that I think it's going to be intuitively, it will make so much more sense. So we have to divide 2/3 by 3/4. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to create two fractions with common denominator. And I'm going to do that by cross multiplying. So the first fraction is going to be multiplied by 4 because 4 is the denominator of the second fraction. So I'm going to end up with 8/12 and then divided by, let's multiply this one by 3. So we have the common denominators, like I said before, 12 at the bottom and then I have 9 at the top. So that calculation that I had up here is the same with the calculation that I have with the fractions that they are now equivalent to the fractions that I have, but this time over 12. So the one thing that you need to understand if you follow this logic is that 8/12 divided by 9/12, it's going to give you, we're talking about division of parts of a fraction that they have the same size because they're both 12s. So basically the answer is what I have at the top. So it's going to be 8/9 because 8/12 divided by 9/12, the 12s cancel out each other and that will give you 8/9, which is the same with the answer that we had before. Final thing that I wanted to show you, because sometimes can be rather confusing, is when you have a whole number and you want to divide by a fraction, let's say 3, and you want to divide this by 2/3, and it can be confusing for a lot of people, then write the first as a fraction over 1 and then divide by 2/3, and then follow any of the methods above, let's say 3/1, and then multiplied by 3/2, the inverse, that's going to give you 9/2, which is equal to 4.5, right? Because 2 goes into 9 4 times, and then you have 1 left, but that 1 left is a half.